you can go for some higher level textbooks. Anyway, we will have a detailed session on history in the upcoming days by our history faculty, Miss Ishala K. After this program, Mr. Ashif will announce you a 4 days training program on civil services. There you can interact with the history faculty of Academy of Civil Services, Miss Ishala K, and she will give you the detailed analysis of the history and the books you have to follow for the history also. Next subject you can see geography. In geography, all of you must have studied in school days the physical geography, astronomy, sun, moon, planets. You must have studied, and oceanography, the structure of the ocean, ocean currents, ocean waves, etc. Climatology and different factors influencing the climate, the pressure belts, etc. You must have studied in the school days. Then the entire physical geography you have to study. Along with that, you have to add the social and economic geography. Social and economic geography means that you have to study the geographic variations of Indian society, sex ratio. In some states of India, high sex ratio, some other states moderate sex ratio, some other states very low sex ratio. Why it varies? Infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate, literacy, illiteracy, why it varies geographically. You have to study the geographic factors influencing that. Economic geography, agriculture, and the different minerals and different resources found in different geographic regions of India, different industries established in different geographic regions of India. Then the connection between economy and agriculture, economy and geography, you have to study in the economic geography. Here also, as I am telling, a large portion of this we have studied in our school days. For civil services, we have to study in a structured way, and we should be able to understand how to tackle the question coming in the question paper. Next one. Now see, when you study the history and geography for the prelims examination, please keep in mind the same history and same geography will help you in the mains examination as well. I told you simultaneous preparation for the prelims and mains. In the mains, as I mentioned earlier, a total number of 7 papers, 7 competitive papers are there. Among these 7 competitive papers, the paper 2 of the mains examination, you have to study again the history and geography which you studied for the prelims examination. Then when you study the history and geography for prelims exam, please keep in mind it will help you in the paper 2 of the mains. In the paper 2 of the mains, you have to add 2 topics extra. They are world history and Indian society. These 2 topics, if you are adding extra, the paper 2 of the mains also done, and the prelims examinations, 2 subjects, history and geography, are also completed. Going to the next subject. The next subject you have to study for the civil services examination is Indian polity. What is Indian polity? Indian polity and governance, to make you understand, obviously we have to study important aspects of the Indian constitution. Along with that, we should be a keen observer into the Indian political system. All of you must have noticed that, and must have noticed that Narendra Modi in 2014 Lok Sabha election, he contested from more than one constituency. Yes. In 2019, Rahul Gandhi also contested from 2 states in India, or more than one constituency he has contested. Yes, how many of you have observed that from the newspaper? You must have seen that Narendra Modi contested in 2019 and in 2014, and Rahul Gandhi in 2019 contested from more than one constituencies. Simply, I want to give you a question on the screen. All of you, please try to give the answer. Whatever answer comes to your mind, you can give that particular answer. I want to know, as per your knowledge, in how many maximum number of constituencies a single candidate can contest in Lok Sabha election? Maximum how many? 1 only, or 2 only, 2 only, 3, any number of constituencies. Whether one single person can contest all the 543. Any number of constituencies means one single person can contest all the 543. Yes, I will give you some 1 minute. Obviously, when we see this current affairs, we have to think on that. How many constituencies a person can contest? Last 15 seconds. All of you please participate. Even if you don't know, you can write some what is your guess. At least you can tell that what